What's up, guys? So we got new updates on the Avengers Endgame last trailer. You might be upset. Let's talk about it now and the future of MCU on Heart in the Paint. Let's go. Welcome, true believers, to Heart in the Paint podcast. If you are new to this channel, if you love Marvel, DC, comics, TV, film, everything that goes into all those topics I just said, please hit that subscribe button. Or if you are listening to us on the Anchor app, hit that favorite button. At any time that you love the content that you're doing, hit that thumbs up and hit that like button. Thank you so much for listening, and let's get on into this new episode. Okay, guys, before we get into this content, let's hear a word from our sponsors. What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Heart in the Paint podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend, but some new updates for you guys. Let's talk about the new trailer being released. Some of these dates have been moving around. Some questions have been going around. When are we going to get the new Avengers Endgame, or if we're going to even get the Avengers final trailer? Guys, we're coming up very, very close. Captain Marvel is this Friday. I will be putting out an episode of a review as well, some spoilers and Easter eggs and all that kind of good stuff later on next week. But let's talk about this new trailer. So there's some updates with Entertainment Weekly, as well as let's go back to even what Kevin Feige said months ago, how the marketing for Avengers Endgame will be different. That's nothing new to us here at Heart in the Paint. We've talked about that. We've approached that topic already. But sadly to say that most of the content that we'll be getting will not but it won't be in a trailer, but most likely it will be contained in this Entertainment Weekly coverage on set and going into some of the content that's going to be in Avengers Endgame, but of course still containing in the first 15 minutes. So again, this is the marketing like we've never seen before. Usually we get a lot other, we get more trailers than we did with Avengers Endgame, but that shouldn't really surprise us because Kevin Feige has already talked about that. Nothing new there. So again, we probably won't get any trailers, any final trailers. But again, guys, we don't need any more trailers. If Avengers Endgame never had a trailer, I would be totally cool with it. Even though all my fingernails would be gone, I would be totally cool with it. So that's the update for that. But let's talk about a more interesting topic, something I've been talking about not on Heart in the Paint, but kind of offset with other people, other fans and communities, about the introduction as well as distribution of the new Fox IPs coming into Disney and how they will really present them into the MCU. Now, I heard some interesting things and some theories I've actually been contributed in that, we already talked about the Disney streaming service and how they will really bring in the different characters and they will basically be intertwined with the MCU. They will be totally relevant and not a standalone or by themselves, not kind of like what DC is doing. But I really believe, and I really want to hear your guys' feedback on this. You can hit us up on all the social medias. You can find us even on YouTube. You can find us. When it comes to Fantastic Four and Xmen, I think what they will begin to do, and this has somewhat been, rumored, that they will ease their way into it and not just drop an X-Men film, not just drop a Fantastic Four. And I think this is extremely, extremely creative and smart to do, where let's just say going into the Phase 4 of Marvel, we have Spider-Man Far From Homecoming, and let's just say Susan and Johnny Storm is there, in there somehow within in that, I guess, storyline, if you want to say, or universe in that way. And they're just introduced not as something as coming in not, how can I say, they're not going to be introduced into the Spider-Man Far From Home movie as part of the Fantastic Four. But what if they already have their powers, but they're really keeping it low key? I mean, that's approach. Or what if they don't have their powers just yet? The same thing with X-Men. What if all this time, Professor Xavier has already had his school, and really the I guess the age of mutants have not really been exposed yet and been kind of within us, as well as the Inhumans. I mean, I don't think they're really going to be approaching Inhumans, if not anytime soon or at all. I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking, keeping the focus on this topic of how they will transition and really introduce us to these characters as Mr. Fantastic, as Doctor Doom, which Doctor Doom, they've already kind of been talking about how it won't be a Fantastic Four villain, but an overarching villain across the MCU. That's very exciting, and that again introduces us to some bigger franchises like Secret Wars and maybe a possible other big series coming out. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, I'm very, very interested in how Marvel will introduce these characters to us, and in what movies they do it in. What if we're seeing some of the characters in Doctor Strange being introduced to some other characters of the X-Men? And when Disney Plus comes, what television shows we'll be getting from X-Men? Whose standalone will be followed? How many of these TV series are they going to come out with? I think, and I don't really think it will be overkill, because I kind of like what DC Universe is doing, one big series at a time, and I really, really love that. But being that this is Disney we're talking about, their distribution is on point and they're everywhere. So again, my question is, what do you guys think about the distribution and transitioning these characters into the MCU, like Fantastic Four and X-Men, and giving us movies, not really big arching Fantastic Four and X-Men movies, but literally having these characters cross over like we saw with Thor Ragnarok, with Hulk being in there. Hulk doesn't really need his own movie. Do we want a Hulk movie? Hell yeah, we want a Hulk movie. But are we going to get it anytime soon? Probably not. But having these characters cross over into other ones, I think is very, very, very creative. And just like the Avengers, we get an Avengers movie maybe every 3 to 4 or 5 years. We're going to see that with the Fantastic Four and X-Men. All right, guys, I want to hear what you guys think about what do you think will happen and how MCU will be doing this transition into these new Fox IPs. All right, guys, so that's it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hear me rant. As always, guys, we are still doing those giveaways. The Oh Snap Thanos shirt, for all you have to do is be a subscriber to our podcast outlets. Any of those. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify, all the major podcast outlets. Subscribe to us and then hit us up on our social media on Facebook or Instagram, and just kind of DM us and just say, hey, I'm a subscriber, so you can be entered to win that Oh Snap Thanos shirt, as well as Avengers in-game movie tickets. To enter to win those, you have to be a YouTube subscriber. So head on over to our YouTube at Heart in the Paint Podcast, subscribe, hit that notification bell, like one of our videos, and comment on them, okay, to enter to win those. So good luck, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm super pumped that we're getting closer and closer to Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, and of course, the most important one, our audio series of Oblivion, which is we are marketing right now. At the end of every episode, we are putting those commercials out. So be pumped for that, guys, okay? Super excited. Really excited. The writing is amazing. I can't wait to share that with you guys. So again, thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy days to hear me rant. As always, I'm Justin with Heart in the Paint Podcast. Stay awesome and stay blessed, guys. Darkseid has found his last variable of the anti-life equation. But it's not what he thought it would be. He discovered that it's a person he needs, but this person doesn't exist in this universe. In this journey, he and many other heroes and villains alike will discover and unlock universal secrets that have been hidden for so long, and these secrets will bridge the gap between two universes. This is The Edge of Oblivion, an audio and crossover fan event like you've never heard before. Marvel Universe, DC Universe, all in one story, coming April 19th, 2019.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.